All right, here's 5th grade Excel, lesson number 80. Recognizing numbers up through trillions and recognizing numbers given in expanded notation. You need to understand expanded notation and numbers up to the trillions place by the time we're finished with this lesson. All right, here is a big old giant number right here. And if you know the place value song by Rockin' the Standards, it'll help you a lot on this because you sing through the place values. But we have ones, tens, hundreds, and then we have thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. We have millions, 10 millions, 100 millions, billions, 10 millions, 100 millions, trillions, 10 trillions, 100 trillions. Notice how the classifications of hundreds, tens, and ones repeats every 3 digits. The commas are important when writing a number using digits or words. You put commas in the words as well. The above number is read like this. And the way you read big numbers is real simple. You're simply going to read 3 digits at a time, or whatever numbers come before the comma, and read it as if it was just a 3-digit number sitting all by itself. So if you saw a 1, 3, and a 4, you would say 134, right? Okay, well that's how you read it in this gigantic number as well. You say 134, and then every comma that you come to, you say a word for that. The word does not end in an S. You're going to say 134 trillion for this comma. Then you say the next 3 numbers, 267 billion. And you're going to say 590 million for that comma. 89, this zero is kind of meaningless right here when we're saying this number. You do need to have the 0 in there when you're writing the number, but when we're saying it, we're really saying these last 2 digits. So you're saying 89,000, and then you just say the last 3 numbers, 706. There's no comma here, so we don't say a word at the end. And then as they pointed out to you, let me get all this mess off of here. As they pointed out to you, there's a repeating pattern here. We have the name, basically, of the period first, and then we have tens, hundreds. Here we have thousands, then it goes to 10 thousands, and then 100 thousands. Notice that the word thousands is in each one of those. Here we have millions, and then we have tens with the millions, and then hundreds with the millions, just like we had hundreds with the thousands and tens with the thousands. And the first place after the comma here is just the plain old word. First place after the comma, plain old word millions. First place after this comma, plain old word billions. And then we add the words 10 and 100 to go with the next 2 places, just like we did here and we did right here. So you go billions, 10 billions, 100 billions. Here's the plain word after the comma right there, which is trillions. And then we have 10 trillions, 100 trillions. One way to help you to remember these is that millions, I don't really have much of a trick for that, but billions starts with BI. We have other words that start with BI, that Greek or Latin root, I'm not sure which one it is, but it means 2, like bicycle. And then here we have TRI, which means 3, like tricycle. So bi is kind of like the second one in relation to millions. I'm sure MI has something to do with 1. So we have 1 here, 2 here, and 3 here. And so anyway, that's how you do that. If that's confusing to you, maybe you want to go back and watch that part of the video again so you really get it into your head, how to read these numbers and the names of the places. Now what we're going to do is have some words written out, and we're going to write each number that's being read to us. So the first one, actually these are done a little differently. This is the way it's read. This just tells us which number is in each one of the places. And then down here we have to write out in words, so it's going to look like this answer or this question is going to be down in there. So this number is going to be written in all words just like this on these lines. Okay, why don't you go ahead and pause the video, give it a shot, see if you can do these 3 problems, start it back up again when you're ready to see the answers. All right, the first one, 207 trillion, 80 billion, 6 million, 312,105. So you can see the commas in here are pretty important. We're going to do 207, and that all goes in the trillions periods. So we're just going to write the number, focus on 207. 207, and this word trillion relates to the comma. That's why we put a comma, just like there's a comma right here. Then next we have 80 with the name of the comma, 80 billion. Now if you just write 80, you only have two numbers here, but you need to have 3 digits between each comma. So I'm going to put a 0 before the 80. If we put it after the 80 over here, it's going to say 800 instead of 80. So we need it before the 8. Then we put a comma, and the next one I see is 6 with the name of that period. And so I write the number 6, and again, I have to have 3 digits, so I'm going to put 2 zeros right here. Without those 2 zeros there, it's a big mess, or if I put them after the 6, then it becomes 600. Okay, and then the next part says 312. The name of the period is 1000, so I'm going to put the number 312 right here. And then lastly it says 105. So you need a comma, 105. So again, you might want to pause the video, kind of check your answer out on that, and see what you got wrong, if you did get it wrong, and why you missed it. You might even want to rewind and watch that part of the video again. Okay, now this one's all mixed up. All these things are just all over the place. The easiest way to do this is just to start down in the ones place over here, and just skim through with your eyes looking for the ones place. If you don't see anything, then you're going to put a 0 down. And as I look through here, I do see 6 ones right there. And I know the first place is called the ones place. I cross it out so I can keep track of which ones I've done. Makes it a little bit easier as I go. Okay, what's the name of the next place after the ones place? And you can look back at the beginning of the lesson if you forget. Or you can sing the Rockin' the Standards place value rap inside your head, which will help you to kind of keep track of it as well. And of course that's the tens place. I look over here and I see that there's an 8 in the tens place. Okay, after the tens place is the hundreds place. I look down here and I see that there are 900, so I put a 9 next. That's 3 digits, so I need a comma. And then after the hundreds, let me cross that out. After the hundreds place comes the thousands place. And I'm looking around and I'm saying, hey, there's the thousands right there. So there's a 3 in the thousands place. After the thousands place is the 10,000s place. I don't see anything about 10,000s on here anywhere. So I'm going to put a 0 in the 10,000s place. After the 10,000s is the 100,000s. Again, looking around, I don't see anything about 100,000s. Put a 0, comma. After the 100,000s place, the next spot is called the millions place. I do see 5 millions right here. Put a 5, cross that out. After the millions place is the 10 millions place. I don't see anything about 10 millions, so I'm going to put a 0. And then after the 10 millions comes the 100 millions. And I don't see any more words of millions at all anywhere on here. Put a 0 for that. Okay, after the millions period comes the billions period. So this next digit is going to be the billions place. And I'm looking around saying, I don't see any billions. Put a 0 there. After the billions is the 10 billions. Finally, we've got one here. 3 10 billions. So that 3 goes in the 10 billions place. After the 10 billions is the 100 billions. And I do see 100 billions right there, so I put a 7 in the 100 billions place. Okay, after the billions, we have the trillions. And yes, I do see a 4 in the trillions place. 10 trillions, nope, the only thing left is 100 trillions, so there's no 10 trillions, but there is 200 trillions. And so this would be your answer here. 204 trillion, 730 billion, 5 million, 3,986. Okay, number 3, we're going to write this big old number out in words. So the way we do it, I'll just get it going here. We read 3 digits at a time. 500, don't forget the word hundred. It's not 500s, it's 526, and then there's a comma, so I got to put a word for that. And the word for it is going to be thousands, millions, billions, trillions. Thousand, millions, billions, commas, haven't you heard? Word from the place value rap. Well, this last one is not in the song, but you know that that one's called the trillions place. 526 trillion, and I do not write trillions, but just trillion. And I put a comma in my words because there's a comma in the number up here. Then I write the next 3 digits, 800 30, 830, and I name that comma, which is billion. Again, not billions, but billion, comma. Now I name the next three digits, 701, and the word for that period, which is million, comma. Now I just name those three digits, which is just the number 9. It's not 900, just 9. And I write the name of the period, which is thousand, not thousands. And then I write the last three digits. I do need a comma there. Finishing that off, and I write 400. Maybe put a period at the end. Okay, so that's it for that big giant number there. And now we're going to write things in expanded notation. Here's the directions. 3,126 can be written as 3 thousands, 100, 2 tens, and 6 ones. It can also be written as 3 times 1,000, 3,000, 1 times 100, 100, 2 times 10, 20, 6 times 1, 6. Notice the plus signs in between. When you add that up, it's 3,126. Write the number for each of these problems. Number 4, 2 times 100, 4 times 1,000, 5 times 10, 0 times 1. Well, these are a little bit mixed up here. I'm going to go ahead and write them in the order down here from largest to smallest. So 4 times 1,000 is 4,000. You can write that on your paper. 2 times 100 is 200. 5 times 10 is 50. 0 times 1 is 0. And when I put these all together, I've got 4,250. 4,250. That's why it kind of helps if you have it in order from greatest to least. Okay, I'd like you to try 5 and 6. Pause the video and then turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. Okay, again, right down here we've got 3 times, oh, we better put this one in here first. 2 times 10,000, which is 20,000. And then we've got 3 times 1,000, which is 3,000. And then we have 4 tens, 4 times 10, which is 40. And so my answer becomes 23,000. And we need some zeros in there to hold the empty places because there are no hundreds, there are no ones. So the answer is 23,040. This next one here, the largest place is the 100,000 places. And we're saying we have one of those, 100,000. And the next biggest is the hundreds, plus 500. 3 times 10 is 30. And make sure you keep any digits in there for empty places. We have 100,530. 100,530. All right. Go ahead and do 7, 8, and 9. Pause the video and then turn it back on when you are ready for the solution. Number 7, 2,536. The 5 in this number represents 500, right? And so we're looking down here. Which one of these is 500? You should have chosen the 5 because 5 times 100 is 500. The 7 in this one represents the 10,000s place. And there's 7 of them. So here's 7 10,000s right here. Choice number 4. The 4 in this one up here, again in the 10,000s place. And there are 4 of those. So 4 10,000s is written right here. And we circled the 7. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching.